Good morning, everyone. GM. This is the second annual Stablecoin Summit in Singapore. So please, let's give a big round of applause to People Action Party and, of course, the tech team. They're going to be working very, very hard today. Let's get the vibes up today, everybody. Let's go. Parvina, thank you very much for all the work that you do. I think you are clearly the most connected person in the stablecoin industry. My name is Eno. I am an issuer of a yield-bearing stablecoin on Solana. We can talk more about Solana later if you want to. But it is my absolute pleasure to announce to the stage Huang, who is a founder as well as a board member of Unitas Foundation, one of the co-hosts and co-sponsors of this entire event. So please give it up for Wayne.
Thank you. Good morning, and welcome to the Stablecoin Summit 2024. It's easy to see that out of all blockchain applications, it is stablecoins that will trigger the blockchain's mass adoption. And this year marks the beginning of this mass adoption. Shopify and Stripe support stablecoin payments. PayPal stablecoin PiUSD supports international payments and surpasses $1 billion in market cap. Revolut and State Street Bank said to be planning their own stablecoins. Grab Wallet supports multiple stablecoins. For years, regulatory uncertainty had cast a dark veil on our industry. This veil has been blown away by the winds of recent regulatory initiatives. New stablecoin acts, regulatory frameworks, licenses, legislation, and sandboxes have been released by progressive regimes such as Singapore, Hong Kong, Japan, Europe, the UAE, Switzerland, and more. Every year in Singapore, the Stablecoin Summit defines stablecoin issuers and tech providers as an industry. We discuss how stablecoins transform cross-border payments, forex liquidity, market efficiency, capital efficiency, and money autonomy. Every year, as money designers, as money operators, as payment providers, and as RegTech developers, we come to share, discuss, debate, and learn from each other. The stablecoin technology has unleashed money innovation and competition. It's given people the freedom to create their own money and the freedom to use their preferred money of choice. And this freedom is as important as any basic human right because financial sovereignty is a basic human right. Join us in this money innovation movement, be a part of the conversation. And with that, we'd like to thank our co-host, First Digital FDUSD, all our sponsors, and our producer, Party Action People, for making this edition possible. Welcome to Stablecoin Summit 2024. Thank you. All right. Thank you for having me. So I will continue to talk about Unitas, a neutral unit of account protocol. What problem does Unitas try to solve? Well, we only have a dozen strong currencies. Americas, Canada. In Americas, we got Canada, USA. In Europe, we've got the Euro, UK, Switzerland. APAC, we've got Singapore, Taiwan, Hong Kong, South Korea, Japan, Australia. The Middle East, UAE, Saudi Arabia. That's about 2 handfuls of strong currencies and about 7% of the 180 currencies we have today. Note that I did not mention Africa. Not even one strong currency. How about the South African rand? Well, against the US dollar, it's not as strong. Liberia, Congo, Rwanda, Malawi, Madagascar, Sudan, all not very good. How about the Americas? How come I only mentioned Canada and the USA? How about the rest of Americas? Brazil, not strong. Jamaica, Nicaragua, Paraguay, Honduras, Haiti, Suriname, Venezuela, Ecuador. Why is Ecuador blank? Anybody take a guess? Why is it blank? Ecuador had to give up their own national currency in the 2000 and was forced to adopt the US dollar as their currency. So you could say that they lost half of their sovereignty because they can no more operate their own money. This is called the dollar shortage problem, and you can read it on the Dallas Fed, on major media, and it really hurts emerging economies. The dollar shortage problem is that many central banks are short of the US dollar reserves. The problem is systemic, and we will not have to go through the details. But this makes it risky for foreign businesses to take on these currencies because there's no guarantee of conversion back to the US dollar. So when a foreign business wants to make a foreign direct investment into any country in Africa, any country in Latin America, what they always face is, well, if we put in $100 million or $10 million and we take on this currency, we make all this investment, when we make their money, then does that central bank have enough US dollar reserves for us to convert our local currency back to US dollar, because what we need ultimately is the US dollar. And this slows down the emerging economies, this dollar shortage problem. We created Unitas to solve this problem, and it took us 3.5 years. So in Unitas allows users to mint out tokens pegged to local currencies. USD 91 is India's country code, is pegged to Indian rupees. USD 94 is pegged to Vietnamese dong. We look at these tokens that are one-to-one pegged to these local currencies as units of account. All of them are over-reserved with USDT, which is then reserved with USD. So here, store of value is US dollar cash and cash equivalent. Medium of exchange, when you want to get out of the Unitas system, you convert, quote unquote, back to USDT, and you move USDT around as the medium of exchange. But when you're doing business locally, when you have to take on local currency and you're worried about the dollar shortage problem that will prohibit you from converting back to US dollar, then you take on the Unitas tokens that are one-to-one pegged to local currencies. And we call them unitized stablecoins because really they're just units of account. When you're holding a Unitas token, you're essentially just holding USDT. And the Unitas protocol guarantees conversion, quote unquote, back to USDT unconditionally and permissionlessly. So then we asked, so we've launched this on the mainnet a few days ago. It took us 3.5 years. And we want to ask the question, all right, so after we've done this, yes, the US dollar is a better store of value compared to all these other currencies. But what would be an even better store of value for the Unitas protocol? This currency looks quite strong against the US dollar. Anybody want to take a guess what this is? Yes, thank you. It is gold, right? Gold's been strong. All these currencies that you saw was weak against the US dollar, but gold is strong against the US dollar. So, Unitas Phase 2, we want to take Tether's tokenized gold, XAUT, as the medium of exchange. Those gold bullions are stored in the underground vault in Switzerland and only sourced from 2 gold refineries in Switzerland. So we want to use that as store of value. We use XAUT, Tether's token as medium exchange, over-reserve XAUT to mint out tokens that are pegged one-to-one to local currencies. So in the Unitas naming convention, the suffix are numbers that represent country codes. So 91 is India's country code. So when you see any Unitas token ending with 91, it is one-to-one pegged to the Indian rupee. The prefix tells you the store of value. So if it's USD 91, then the store of value is US dollar cash and cash equivalent over reserved, but the token's value is one-to-one pegged to Indian rupees. XAU 91, store of value is over reserved with gold bullions in Switzerland, but the value is one-to-one pegged to Indian rupees. I will skip this. So phase 1 was in 2023. Phase 2 was in 2024. And then the whole math was designed in 2021. Unitas is a neutral unit of account protocol. Why we say neutral unit of account? If you think about it, today we quote, communicate, and transact in US dollar norms, right? The US dollar is our preferred unit of account. Just like I'm speaking English today, English is not my native language, but it is the business language, and we're all speaking English today. Well, the Great Britain, the UK, does not control English as a language. For distance, we use kilometers, and 1 kilometer is always the same length. For time, we use 1 hour, and 1 hour of time is always the same duration. The only unit of account that changes and that are controlled is currency. They're not neutral, right? Today, like if you think about Bitcoin prices, we can't get away with thinking about Bitcoin or Ethereum prices in US dollar norms, in US dollars. Just like the English language. Our brains are wired that way. It's hard to get out of that system. But they're not neutral, right? Out of all units of account, currency as a unit of account is not neutral. It's controlled, for example, the US dollar is controlled by the US government. So, Unitas creates neutral units of account in the form of Unitas tokens. V2 is going to be gold reserved unitized stablecoins, for example, XAU1 pegged to the US dollar and XAU91 pegged to the Indian rupee, over reserved with gold. It's original design, it's not a fork, everything looks really different. It's not CDP based. We had many, many reasons why we had to start from scratch and really design a completely new protocol. And minting is an FX swap, it's not a loan. So with that, please do check out us, the Unitas protocol, a neutral unit of account protocol. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Wayne. We don't need that music. We're fine.